Alright guys, this is Black Dragon. We're here for the Team Story Cup. Sage on a very good run right now. Currently at 2-0, taking on LiquidRet, who is spawning up here in the top right. Down here in the bottom left is our undefeated root player, Sage, who showed us some very, very solid Protoss play, electing to go the one gate versus Xenio, which just threw off his all-in. Completely shut it down and just played solid mechanics to close out the game. Here on Cloud Kingdom, one of those contests Blizzard threw for map, and it ended up being a very popular one. You see it a lot in tournaments now. I think it's so popular because the centricity or the versatility of the third base. You have high ground here to defend it. There are 3 possible paths to come, but the most vulnerable is the longest path. Has to come around this back way. Oh, over here, missing huge action, of course, because that's me. You have the proxy gateway going down. So you saw him go very conservative and then turning around the very next game, going super aggressive. And this works when these teammates are watching, Team Liquid here, watching their teammates lose. Says, okay, heck no, I'm going to be very standard, no all-ins, and consequently has no idea this is coming. And this is where you almost, you see pro players get punished for what should be, I guess, simple things, but they get greedy. The second Overlord would almost naturally go to the natural, but instead wants to get that map vision, check for proxies in the weird spots, and misses the obvious one. You're going to come out here for his expansion, and oh no, there's a gateway being chrono boosted. No, and he says shit and throws down. Already has a spawning pull down, gas being started as well, but I don't know if he's going to have enough in time for that first Zealot, which you don't even want to try to kill with drone. That's going to rack up the kills. Alright, spawning pool, not even close to being done yet. Still got 5 seconds on the spawning pool, and then you'll still need time for those larvae to hatch. And here comes the Zealot in to do some damage with the probe as well. Pretty formidable team. Then denying all types of mining. 6 Zerglings in production. Not a good thing. Already down in workers. Gonna have to do a lot of damage with these lings. Getting in a very defensive position. Now pushing out, and there's the natural wall in. See that? Sage says, Blizzard, screw your nerfing my cheese. I'll do it anyway. He throws down 3 Zealots. Wall in the Zerg. Oh no. Ret, what can you do? Continues ling production, but not sure what it can do. Let's move in with the queen. How to react to this? Now just keep in mind that there we go. He elects to wrap around. Going to go towards the main base. You might see a base trade coming out here. Going to production, nobody at 4 million's production, so he's moving into a very offensive position. But you'll see the time it takes to get over here, he's going to have a nice little wall in. He can probably start a cannon as well. Going to shut that down heftily, because at the same time we do have the Zealot's coming here doing pressure, and he's doing continued Zealot production, which is going to put a lot of pressure. Now the cannon down as well. You have absolutely no chance no chance of an expansion for a long time, so any damage being done right now, I want to say is almost being completely negated. And unfortunately, here come the Zealots. They're going to do a lot of damage to these lings. They need to get a little bit of micro, possibly. You'll see him turn around, start the cannon right away. I'll have to come back over here now, try to wrap back around. Cybernetics core almost at full health, has tons of health. Not the building you really want to be focusing. If you can get it down, though, to delay the tech significantly. Ling speed done. Early gas maybe will pay off, but unfortunately, speedlings are still lings against these Zealots, and with the 2 cannons there, he's going to need. There's the roaches already out as well. Oh no, queen off a creep. Can't really wrap around and get away. If he takes out the queen, it'd be huge. But we do have damage going back and forth. Nice surround getting on the Zealots. And does the queen live? No, what? 10 hit points. And oh no, there's cannons. He's already committed. He has to run in and try to do as much damage as he can. Over here, we do have the attack was ished. Did get in, did lose all his lings, did damage, but the wall's back up, and we have a even-ish game. I don't even know what this does. Sage put so much into this all-in, he didn't really do damage. But he's delaying this expansion for so long now, and there we go. And Ret unable to still close this out. I feel like it's even. Wind-based Protoss is still so strong, and he's had both his gases up for a long time. He could almost turn this into a 4-gate if he wanted to, and I don't think he'd really lose too much by it, because now Ret has to allocate all his larvae to drone production if he wants to get any kind of expansion down. Very awkward game for the Zerg. And I've seen Sage do this the last few games. He really likes to take his opponents out of the comfort zone and just make them go off relative timings. And what I mean by that is, normally this would be down by, 4 minutes? You'd be at the same, worker production right now, minus the roaches and, your soldiers and stuff. But the way it's set up now, it's very awkward. It's at 8 minutes. It's like now, 3 bases should be up and running. You should be up to like 60 drones. Instead, it's this very weird thing where everything's relative. He's not really sure what's going on in Sage's base, whether he's going for the Nexus. Mothership Core now going to do lots of damage. Yeah, he is very good at using his Mothership Core as well. But yeah, you're seeing and just throw off those relative timings, and this puts Zerg in a very awkward spot. Because right now, if you're looking at the vision we have, you can say, oh yeah, Ret needs to be just droning like a madman. And not really. He's not getting that. He's kind of getting supply block, waiting a little bit, trying to scout, see what's going on first. Because if it was any type of all-in, he would just die instantly to any kind of push. Right, Overlord being poked away over here, knows that there's no expansion, but just as the Overlord loses vision, he throws on the Nexus, which is going to mess with Ret even more, because he has no idea what's coming. C4 Lings, no reason for him at all right now. Doesn't even need them. That mental game, though, is forcing so much production from the Zerg. But we do have Ret up to 40. It's a nice 10 drone lead. Needs to get it closer to that 55 mark, though, before that pressure starts coming. He does have time, though. See how he elects to use his larva. It's going to be really important. A layer tech being started as well, normal time. It's a little delayed on the gas. Just now, I believe, started saturating. Yeah, just started saturating the second. Needs to get a third and fourth down, which do go down right away. He's floating a little bit on the minerals. Observer will come in, see that his Sage will see that his plan worked out quite well. He had the Zerg really off balance, unsure whether to be producing workers, army. Now he's throwing out a Spire. I feel like this is very erratic. And the Spire, I get for the play, but he hasn't been mining gas that long, so he's gonna get like what, 9 Mutalisk? And what's he gonna do with that? I guess he's trying to delay the third, but you could just almost continue into that Roach production because he's not gonna have the infrastructure to really stop that with any large amount of Immortals or anything. So really interesting choice here by Ret. I've seen Zerg players trying to make this Mutaplay work, but you'll find Lings as a mineral dump are just terrible. Terrible, terrible. Zerg does not have a unit, in the early tiers other than Roaches, which are just supply heavy, make it like impractical. So if you go Muta, you're almost going pure Ling. Just dies to any type of mid-game Protoss army. Not sure how this is really going to work out. Thing you'd have to do is just get these, I'd say, he's got a double gas over here as well. He's going to have to get that gas just going so fast. And, going to income, the problem being he's up to that nice mark. Good initiate right here. And this is good because it's forcing energy out of the sentries. Which, yes, they're not units, but if he can take one out, that's even nice. Does wrap around. Perfect timing on the run-in. We do have the overcharge over here on the Nexus. Roach is coming in, try to do some damage. And the whole point of this is just to delay any type of push. Check on the third timing. Really, really well played here by Ret, because if he didn't do anything, I felt like he was about to die to any type of push. Instead, buys himself about another minute and a half. In that time, the gas can finally start to build up from those 6 geysers. He can get a nice amount of Mutalisk out to where he can actually contest the third parts of the map. And so what's going to be really important here is to make, he's got 13 Mutalisk at the moment. It's a really good amount. Just come in. Oh no, there's the Phoenix that have been in production. This was scouted the whole time. And they're already lost 200 gas down for Red. 300 now, not a very good. Does he have this? He has the upgrade on those Phoenixes as well. Oh, those poor Mutalisk, and finally can come in with the reinforcements, but down to only, oh my goodness, down to only 6, over half of his Mutalisk dead. Well, shoot. That tech switch. And now he goes in the Roach production, which just, it's the wrong timing for it. He's about 2-3 minutes too late. Those Mutalisks take so much time to tech into, and he didn't really take out anything. I mean, yeah, he's up in drones, but he's got no gas, no tech, no army. Gonna come over here, shut down this fourth fairly easily. No, dancing back and forth, setting up pylons. I have to feel he's going for some type of some pressure build, because he's actually falling behind on his third timing. Just finally dropped that third nexus. Do have the army wrapping around the long way to avoid any type of detection, and at the last second decides to cut it up the middle, getting greedy, wants to go for it. As the room darts in on the high ground, nexus is still being built though, can get a cancel off on it possibly. Of course, the cancel will be really nice, but there's so many of those. Oh, nice. Just cancels at the last second. Does get a decent surround, though. Can maybe take out a few of these sentries. Does take 1, 2 out with pure lings. Very, very good trade. But does lose all of his Mutalisk in the process. Not a very good trade, but we have him going back and forth. Zealot's being warped in. There goes the time warp as well, making those roaches very, very, very low priority in the liftoff as well. Gravitational beam helping out quite a bit. Alright, just take out a pylon. I want to say that was some really good damage done going to units lost. I still have a ton lost for Ret. Those Mutalisks were very expensive, and the shameful thing is those could have almost been completely maxed out on roaches at that point. But instead, has these Mutalisks that are just worthless. They can't do anything against this army. Now going into Hydralis production, and the problem with tech switching again right here is you see a robotics facility down, which we don't. So it's still a really good position for Ret. Still doesn't have his third base down. We have 4 bases up and running from Ret. If he can engage, force some engages, like the next 2-3 minutes, he's going to have a lot of damage. As long as Colossus aren't on the map, he can almost trade directly with his Hydralisk and still get some really good damage out. At this point, even if he trades inefficiently, the fact that the Protoss is still on 4 and not that 6 gas mark is really, really big, because he can remax on not only units, but they're going to be high-tech units. So Ret wants to be doing a lot of damage right now. Instead, electing to hang back for a little bit, wait for this augment to finish so he can get the speed, which is really important because it allows the Hydralisk to actually retreat. I don't feel like it was necessary to wait, maybe because he can just go ahead and engage with these and do damage, because the gases are still not down yet. I feel like this engagement could have happened about a minute ago and done a lot more damage. So yeah, instead gonna have to secede tech switch again now, and you'll see the problem here. If he continues to max out on this Ling Hydra Roach, not only are the upgrades cascaded to where the Lings aren't being upgraded where they need to be, Colossus production is about to start. And all the while, wow, these Phoenixes being used so well. Queens killed all the Mutalisks, taking out drones, any high priority target. They're just picking up and killing, and it's making a difference because it's forcing every unit killed is more larva, more minerals, more resources for the Zerg. Which in this position is going to keep him even because he's up on 4 bases. Huge supply block though. Caused a little bit of a misrally. All these overlords, because right now there's nothing to contest these at all. Hydralis production had to stop. Once he seceded that third to the Protoss, you know Colossus are coming. I would almost love him to see him get in the defensive position, just give up on denying his third. It's over. He missed the opportunity, even forced it once. Gonna try to force it twice now. Don't really like this, but still insisting on pushing into the force fields, and here come the Phoenix to just lift up all those high damaging Hydralisk. rendering the army pretty much worthless. Yeah, huge stop there. He needed those for defense, because now he's going to have to scramble, build more tier 2 units when he needs to be moving to a late game 4-5 base army. Trying, already has it up and building, but if it gets scouted, it's dead, and this army marching up on his doorsteps, not going to be easy to stop. Has to dump all his gas right now and minerals into these hydralisks, which are just going to melt. And more. These Phoenix, they have to do so much damage to be successful, but in this game, they're just running amok. Every time in this game, Rhett's trying to get into his macro groove. There's just a Phoenix picking up a Queen. There's Sentry, Warpins. It's very difficult for the Zerg to get aggressive. Rhett's a very aggressive player when he wants to be, and I feel like he's trying to find that that pressure to snowball, and he just hasn't had. He's been shut down every time. Here comes another interesting choice of engagement, Time Warp coming in. This is actually really good trade for Rhett, though, taking a lot of those high priority units, but in comes the first Colossus. From here on out, those Hydralisks are pretty much worthless. No, Thermoniter's not done yet, though, so he can still force this. But then come the Phoenix to just clean up. The difference in these battles right now are all those Phoenix he's managed to keep alive, but still able to trade fairly decently. Up 60 supply. But doesn't have the time to really solidify a defensive or offensive position, and just engaging almost at will. Focus firing the Immortals. Not sure if this is the best choice. Finally going for the Colossus, which does fall right away, but just lacking those few units to really come in. Unit streaming across the map right now, but they can't really group up to do enough damage together. Gonna go ahead and lose this base. Oh no, Rhett, not good at all, because we do have the Protoss now on 4 bases with this 7th gas. Started not being mined from, but with Thermal Igniter's almost done. Lance, Derp, or Igniter, whatever you want to call it. Because, yeah. The range of those Colossus are going to start to snowball as they reach critical mass, and he's going to have a hard time breaking it. And even right now, his composition, his army is roach heavy, and he's having just the toughest time even busting, breaking through, doing any damage. And when the engagements happen, there's like 4 or 5 Hydralisks left, which is just the perfect amount to do damage. But then, here comes the Phoenix to pick them up. He can't capitalize on the supply lead just from the versatility of Sage's army. Alright, here come the Phoenix. Being annoying, gonna cancel that possible expansion. Just being so pesky. Blink Stalker production coming in to stop the Hive Tech, which isn't coming. Because Rhett just feels like he can still muscle his way into this army. Gonna have to be really careful, though. Hydralisk, even with the upgrade, are not the most mobile units. You don't want to lose your entire army at this point of the game. Unit still streaming across the map. Rhett finally maxed up, is floating quite a bit on resources, is now going to have to make a choice whether he wants to go completely all aggressive or put some pressure on while teching to keep him alive a little bit longer. Just force some Warpins of the Sentries. Nice force fields going out, but it's not enough. Is able to form a pretty decent concave. He has to get some focus fire, because this Colossus is just doing tons of damage. No kills yet, but still zoning this army very efficiently. In comes the overcharge as well. Rhett able to remax, but the 4th still stands, and that's all that matters for the Protoss. Forced him into Sentry production. Needs to take advantage of it, though. Needs to go into this 5-6 base possible. Rhett likes his lair. And Cat's noting on the no Hive Tech, and we're at almost 30 minutes. I think that's really going to screw him in this game. Yeah, he had the time, and he just elected to keep going aggressive with these layer tech units, and the Colossus, as they're getting up to 2, almost 3 now, they're just not even going to be a contestment, especially with the Sentry force fields coming in. That's the only way those roaches can do damage, is to get right up next to their units, and they can't do it. Is he going to start Hive now? Started at 27 minutes. No. Maybe he forgot. I don't know, but I don't think there's even an infestation pit out. No. Yeah, just in a very weird position now. Gonna go into mass corruptors. It'll keep him alive for a little bit, but I think the lack of gas is gonna really start hurting is really going to start hurting Ret, and now he's having to dump it into these Hydralisks. Yeah, and here comes Sage has to sense blood here, because he's like, hey, wait a minute, there's no Infestors, just now Corruptors? This guy's still on layer. And you know what? This many Corruptors, I think it's not going to matter. Yes, we'll kill all the Colossus, but then you have 10 Corruptors that are just going to die to everything anti-air right now. So Colossus already did the job of taking out the entire ground army, and now you got Stalkers against Corruptors, which is never a good trade. And this expansion is going to fall again. They can even push past this and probably get a very easy win. Electing to play it safe, link around the map. Going for the drones first, always a good thing. Forcing more potential drone production. Nice engagement coming in. No Colossus right now, so they're able to do a lot of damage, but sheer number right now he has is just doing a lot of damage. Trading going on back and forth. I don't think it matters because Sage is on 5 bases now. This is more of a time buying strategy than anything else, and still able to win the battle, still able to push his opponent back into the natural. Those units doing tons of damage, racking kills for each one. We have +2 already done. Going over to upgrades, we still have 2-2 from the Zerg, and there's a good game. Unable to move past that layer tech. Sage going up 3-0. Can anyone take him out? We'll find